I recently completed a 31-day drawing challenge. Now why this matters to you is because I learned some things that I didn't know about drawing. Hello, I'm Justin, and in this video I'm going to share with you 5 things that I didn't know about drawing that I learned from doing a 31-day drawing challenge. Now some of these things were a real revelation to me, and it's going to change the way that I do my work from now on. But you don't have to do the full 31-day challenge to learn the same things I learned. All you have to do is watch the rest of this video without skipping. Now, as I went along, I made a recap video every week where I recapped all of the drawings and I gave you my thoughts on how they came together. If you haven't seen those videos all contain some fun, some excitement, and a few drawing tips along the way. Now, before I get to the things that I learned, I just have to set the scene on the drawing challenge. It's going to be important that I share some details with you so you understand some of what I'm about to say in a minute. I asked the people on Instagram to give me some drawing prompts. I got 31 of them together, enough for one each day for the month of January. Each day in January, I drew one of these prompts and I gave myself a 10-minute time limit. Now the 10-minute time limit was there just to make it even more challenging. Now every day of the challenge I posted my artwork on Instagram and Facebook, and also I made a weekly recap video here for YouTube. And that's how I kept myself accountable during the challenge and shared it with you guys so you could see what was happening as I learned. But there are some things that I probably didn't really mention along the way because they were bigger things that took me a little bit of time to figure out. And I'm going to share those things with you in this video right now. Now, if you don't know me already, I'm Justin and I've been drawing for quite a few years, and I didn't think I could learn so many things in such a short space of time. Now don't get me wrong, that doesn't mean that I think I know it all. I know that I don't. There's plenty for us all to keep learning all throughout our lives. But I didn't expect to learn so many things so quickly, because once you get up to a set level and once you've been drawing for so many years, it takes longer to learn things, and the things that you learn tend to be more like subtle adjustments of what you already know or what you're doing. But in this drawing challenge, I actually learned some completely new things, and that was amazing for me. Now, in no particular order, the very first thing that I learned is that 10 minutes is long enough to do a drawing. Now, I already knew that. I've done drawings in 10 minutes or even faster before. I knew that was the case, but I'd never done it on this scale before. I'd never set out to systematically do a 10-minute drawing every single morning. Now, when I set out to do these 10-minute drawings, my expectations weren't particularly high. I didn't expect the drawings to be great. I thought it would be just a good opportunity to sit down and get my brain in gear for drawing and just to practice those skills a little bit. And that's what I hope to prove out of doing this drawing challenge. But what I actually found was, and this I didn't expect, is that when I applied the other 4 things that I'm about to explain to you, the drawings turned out to be not so bad at all, and there were other benefits that I didn't even anticipate or realize. Now, the second thing that I learned during this challenge that I want to share with you is something that I knew already in my life and I've used in other areas of my life, but I didn't really apply it and use it for drawing as much as I should have, or as much as you can. Now, the thing that I want to talk to you about is using visualization. Visualization before you do a drawing is just the act of being able to, in your own mind, see the object that you really want to draw. With a 10-minute challenge, if you don't start out already with a very clear idea of what it is that you're going to do, you're going to spend half your time just sitting there looking, what am I doing? Making decisions, thinking about it. When you're doing a normal drawing, you can get away with that because you've got time. It doesn't matter if you spend 10 minutes fluffing around looking at things. With a 10-minute drawing, you have to just focus and go. And so that pre-visualization, just like 1 minute, that's all I'm talking about. Stop, focus on what you want to do, and whether it's a physical reference you're looking at or whether you're internalizing and creating something in your imagination, it's exactly the same. But you need to have that clear in your mind before you put it to paper. And if you can do that, then that really will improve your ability to get drawings done. And it will improve your ability to make good use of your time because you will get more done much more quickly. Now, incidentally, this is a great skill to use if you're out sketching from life. It could be a life drawing, it could be out in nature, doing plein air, whatever. The more you can focus on something before it changes and hold that in your mind, the better chance you have to capture what's before you. The third thing that I learned doing this challenge is that focus is the key. Now, we talked a moment before about visualizing beforehand, and that's really important. But the next step in the path for that is simply to be able to take then what you're visualizing and break it down into something simple. Now, these simple things are called elements. the elements of design. If you're not familiar with them, you should go check it out, because it really does make a big difference in your life if you understand what those things are. Use the elements and choose 1 or 2 elements only for your focus of your 10-minute drawing. That allows you to break it down into really simple things that you can capture quickly and easily. If you look at something, particularly something complex, it can be really overwhelming because there's so much going on. There's all kinds of different lines, and there's shapes, and there's forms, and there's values, and there's space and depth and textures, and all of these different things. Now, these are the elements, colors as well. Now, if you can simply focus in on the things that are most important in capturing the essence of this drawing, or in telling the story that you want to tell, that's where it really comes into its own. If you can just focus in, for example, using lines to make shapes. If you do that, you can create a drawing. You can draw a shape drawing. You can focus on lines and values, just lights and darks. Putting the lights and darks in, you can make a drawing that way. You get the idea. Now, if you just try to pull these in all together and just try to do them all at once, in 10 minutes, you just end up with a mess. But what you have to do is just pick 1 or 2 that are really important and focus on getting them done. And if you can get them done in 9 minutes, well, then the last minute you can put a few little details in, you can put some textures on top, or whatever you want. And that's how I did it. And really, that's how you can do things when you're out sketching in the world. Just capture those essential things that really matter. And that's locking it away in your mind as well. It's helping you build up that visual memory and that reference, that internal reference that you'll be able to draw on for many years to come whenever you need to draw something. Now, the 4th thing that I want to share with you, drawing faster is actually a really freeing experience. Now, if you're used to drawing any way you want and sitting down and really putting a lot of time and effort into things, being very careful, being very fastidious, it might seem very unusual for me to say that. That might seem counterintuitive, but here's why. That perfectionism is actually a chain that wraps around you and binds you up. Have you ever spent hours working on something, not being happy with it, taking it away, bringing it back, reworking it, working it again, trying again, putting that aside, starting again from fresh? Have you ever done that? I certainly have. Now, let me tell you that sitting down and knowing full well that you've only got 10 minutes to get your drawing done, that really brings out that element within yourself of saying, I have no time for detail. All I can do is capture the basics, and we go back to the previous step where we focus on what we need. But it's really freeing and really relaxing to actually sit down and to know I'm not going to agonize over details for an hour here. I've got 10 minutes and I've just got to capture everything that I can. And it makes you feel really free, and it makes you feel amazing. Doing these limited time artworks really does release you from those binding chains of perfectionism and opens you up to the whole beautiful world of simplicity. And that's an amazing experience if you haven't tried it. Now, the 5th thing that I want to tell you about, and this was the biggest surprise of them all, this is simply the fact that if you do a quick 10-minute drawing in the morning, every single time you do that drawing, you're walking away feeling like it's unfinished. You walk away feeling like you wish you had more time and you could do more. It really fires your imagination and your creative process. By walking away before you want to, it actually really fuels that inner desire to come back and create. And during the day, you can't stop thinking about creative processes and doing things, and you come back refreshed and more energized, even if you have to go away and spend all day doing something else. And it builds a tremendous boost to your energy and your motivation and your discipline to keep wanting to work and build up these drawing habits. It's fantastic. Even without intending to do any kind of creative work, my brain would just start finding opportunities to fit more into the day. And I was achieving more, I was more productive, and I was finding myself getting in the doldrums much fewer. Now, I don't know if this will be a long-term benefit. I don't know if this would always keep working if I always do this. I'm going to keep drawing a 10-minute drawing every morning, and I'm going to keep using this technique and this process because this has been such a change to me, such a profound and revelationary experience that I'm really excited by this. And I'm happy to share that with you, and I'm hoping that maybe you'll try it too, because it really has changed the way I work and the way that I think about what I'm doing. So, there are 5 things that I learned by doing this 31-day art challenge. I would love to hear what you think about it. leave me a comment down below. If you've liked this video and found it helpful, it would be so amazing if you could hit that like button. That would help me so much. I really appreciate that. Now the challenge isn't over yet. There's phase 2. It's underway right now. So I'm still doing a 10-minute drawing every day, only now we've changed the rules a little bit. Instead of it being a daily drawing of a prompt suggested by a viewer, now it is a daily drawing every day for 7 days of the same prompt. So I'm working on the same drawing for 7 days in a row. We're going to do a weekly recap video of that, and look out for that coming soon. If you'd like to see any of those other drawing recap videos, here is a playlist I've made that you can find them very quickly and easily. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day, and bye bye.